Everybody treats competition like it's automatically a negative, but sometimes that pressure is exactly what pushes an artist to unlock another level. And Cameron recently broke down what was actually happening when he went bar for bar with Dutch and Spade, and trust me, the story behind it is worth hearing. What would you say is your strongest verse? Let me throw these songs at you and you tell me your best rap verse. DJ Clue's Fantastic Four Part 2, featuring Nature, The Locks, and Fabulous, especially that back in the days we were slaves, whips and chains verse. Then there's the Dutch and Spade record, Where I'm From the SDE album, because that verse goes absolutely crazy. Or the ROC track with You, Beanie Siegel, and Memphis Bleak. Out of all those records, which verse would you personally say stands above the rest?
The one DJ Clue would be my favorite out of those three, but the most popular one is the Just Fire one with Beanie Siegel and Memphis Bleak. Like, I do that to show people sing it word for word. But if you ask me my favorite is the one with DJ Clue and Nature and the Locks and Fab.
I remember we were talking about how the Locks felt Big was taking shots at them on their first freestyle or whatever, and you connected with that same feeling, saying, yeah, I got on that track with Dutch and Spade because I had to show him what time it was. And this is exactly where people completely get the idea of competition twisted, because the second they hear a story like this, they assume it has to be about hate, jealousy, or somebody trying to bring another person down. But in business, and especially in music, competition can actually be a form of respect, because when somebody is talented enough to force you to elevate your game, they're giving you a reason to become even better. Cameron wasn't stepping in to destroy Dutch and Spade or take anything away from them. He was simply making sure his own position was understood. And honestly, that same mentality exists in almost every industry, because the people at the top don't fall apart when fresh talent comes through the door. They answer the challenge by sharpening their skills, raising their standards, and making everybody wonder what they're going to do next.
Did that? Like, what is that some New York shit going on? Because you said a freestyle, you did a freestyle on TV, I forgot what station, you, Charlie Baltimore, Dutch and Spade, and you said, niggas rap about the rings they don't got, rings they don't cop. And you took like a big verse, kind of, I don't know if you remember it, but I'll play it for you later. Is that like some competition shit when some new niggas come along? Like, or is just New York shit? Like, what is that about?
Well, first of all, let me say this. Dutch and Spade are fucking nice. Super duper nice. Them niggas is nice. So big shout out to Dutch and Spade and that whole crew, you know, major figures. They was they was just, I don't know if they had a major label deal, but Bianca, Gilly, Dutchy, Spado, like them niggas, they had a nice team. So I want to say that first and foremost. But when Dutch and Spade got there, and what happened is this, you gotta realize I'm the first artist on entertainment, me and Charlie Baltimore. So, you know, as artists come in, you get a little territorial, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to build a label. But I'm trying to be the best rapper on the label. Not only that, not let other niggas come take my shine, even though that's what a label's supposed to do. You gotta sign people. So the first time I did a record with them, I never dissed them. If you listen to that verse that you talking about on SDE, that verse, I didn't say nothing bad or negative about them. I just spit way more bars than they did and just got into my bag because I had to let them know that's the first song we ever done together that, yo, I'm the head honcho at this label.
I wanted to understand what made you do that in the first place, because was that some New York happening at the time? You mentioned doing a freestyle on TV, I can't remember which station, with Charlie Baltimore, Dutch, and Spade, where you were basically saying, rap about the rings, they don't got rings. And you even took a shot at Big's verse, or at least that's how it sounded to me. So is that just the competitive energy that comes when some new comes around, or is it simply a New York thing? What was really behind all of that? First, let me make something very clear. Dutch and Spanish are nice, super duper nice. Those could really rap. So big shout out to Dutch and Spade and that entire crew, because they were major figures and had a serious team around them. I don't even know if they had a major label deal at that point, but Bianca, Gilly, Dutchy, Spado, all them. They had a nice team, and I want to make that clear before anything else. But when Dutch and Spade came into the picture, you have to understand that I was one of the first artists on entertainment, me and Charlie Baltimore. So as more artists started coming in, yeah, you naturally get a little territorial, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to build a label, but at the same time, I wanted to be the best rapper on that label, and I damn sure wasn't about to let somebody else come in and take my shine, even though technically that's exactly what a label is supposed to do, sign more talent and create more stars. The first time I ever made a record with them, I never actually dissed them. And if you really listen to that verse you're talking about on SDE, I never said anything disrespectful or negative about Dutch or Spade. I simply rapped way more than they did and went completely into my bag, because I needed that first song together to send a message. I'm the head honcho at this label, but at the same time, welcome. And here's the business lesson that a lot of people completely miss. Being part of the same team doesn't mean everybody inside that team has identical goals. The label wanted multiple stars because more stars meant the company could grow, while Cam wanted to make damn sure nobody looked past him or forgot who was already there. That isn't necessarily selfish, it's understanding incentives and knowing exactly where you stand. In almost every company, people can be working toward the same overall mission while still chasing their own individual goals, and the ones who understand that dynamic usually know how to navigate business a whole lot better.
I took it, you know what I'm saying? At that time, you at a young age, you compete, and it's almost like your job if you want to be a quarterback. And it's a little different. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but you fighting for a starting spot, nigga. My album wasn't out yet when Dutch and Spade got there. It was about to be out, came out. And then, because they actually on it, and it was they go, but I had to let niggas know I'm ready to go again. So it wasn't nothing personal towards them. It was just about the comp.
So there was never anything personal toward Dutch or Spade. It was simply about competition and proving where he stood. This right here is what separates professionals from people who take every challenge as a personal attack. Think about it. Cam can praise Dutch and Spade, call them some of the nicest and most talented rappers he had ever heard, and still admit that he wanted to out-rap them when the record came on. Those two things can absolutely exist at the same time, and that's the part people often fail to understand. Real competition doesn't require disrespect or unnecessary drama. Sometimes it's simply about raising the bar and making sure your own name still carries weight. And the people who survive in this business the longest usually understand how to compete at the highest level without turning every challenge into another enemy.
There's beats in there, we talked about it with Un, that I was like, yo, Un, you can't give that beat to Charlie. Like, Un wanted to give Glory, the beat Glory on my album to Charlie, and I fought for like 3 weeks, like, yo, you just can't do that. And he was about to do that. But it wasn't nothing more than just trying to be the best nigga on the label, but I got much respect for Dutch and Spade. Them two of the nicest niggas I ever heard of.
That's exactly why I actually respect Cam's answer, because he wasn't trying to sell some fake narrative where everybody was one big, perfectly happy family with no competition whatsoever. He openly admitted that he wanted to be the best, but at the same time, he still gave Dutch and Spade their credit when it was deserved. And honestly, that mindset works far beyond rap. Because whether you're building a business, advancing your career, or creating content, competition doesn't automatically have to become personal. Sometimes the strongest teams are created when everybody involved is talented enough to challenge one another, push the limits, and constantly force each other to level up.